Hi class! This week you will be working on phase 3 of your Powers That Be research project. You will be asked to put together a presentation so that you can share your research with the class. So this screencast is designed to help you create a professional presentation. So the purpose of phase 3 is to help you create a professional presentation so that you can share your research in a meaningful and engaging way. Hopefully you've already had a chance to look at the presentation rubric. In the completion section, you will see that you are scored on 3 things. First of all, I'm looking for a clear topic that aligns to prompt A or B. Second, I'm looking for a professional and complete Google slide presentation or a poster. And finally, I'm looking for every student to present to the class. So this presentation is going to really align to this second bullet here. I'm going to show you how to create professional work, and this will apply to Google Slides or a poster. So when you're creating a professional presentation, there are a few tips you can follow. So my first tip to you, tip number 1, is to keep it simple. You want to use notes as you create your slides. Try to adhere to the rule of no more than 6 words, 6 bullets per slide. Now I understand that this might not work every single time, but it's a good place for you to shoot for. If you have to do a little more every now and then, that's okay, but try your best to aim for 6 words, 6 bullets. If you get nervous and you feel like those bullets on the slides are not enough to support you to get through your speech, you should definitely use note cards for extra support. You could write as many words as you want on those note cards because nobody is going to see them but you. Over here on the right, I have a sample of a slide that might be used on a presentation for the Jim Crow era. This slide is actually an example of what not to do. You will see that there are way too many words. It's really overwhelming when you look at it. There's some great information here, but this is what the presenter should be saying, not what the audience should be reading. So if I were the student, I would think about how I could bullet the essential information to make this slide a little bit easier on the audience. Tip number 2 is to limit transitions and animations. Though these are really fun, they can also be really distracting and really overwhelming. Take a look. I am doing a presentation on the Jim Crow era. So I've got something up here, then it appears again, then something flies in, my picture rotates. It's just way too much. So a few animations here and there can be great, but too many can be distracting. My third tip is to use appropriate graphics. Consider the topic and consider the mood. How do you want your audience to feel when they're watching the presentation? If you have a topic like the Jim Crow era, well, that was a tragic time in our history. So confetti and emojis are not appropriate for that presentation. Please be really careful about what graphics you use, including the ending slide. This is a project for school, so we want to keep it professional. Tip number 4 is to use color well. Again, consider the topic and mood. If I'm doing a presentation on the Jim Crow era, pinks and purples and bright greens and bright blues might not be the best choice. Maybe you want to use black or gray or a nice calming blue and not such loud colors as I'm talking about something that's tragic and depressing. And my final tip is to use appropriate fonts. Again, consider the topic and mood. These fonts over here on the right are really fun. Kids enjoy them, but they are not professional for a school project, especially a project on the Jim Crow era. So try to use appropriate fonts that make your presentation look really professional. I hope these tips are helpful as you work this week to put together your own presentation. It's always a great idea to ask for feedback from each other as you are putting together these presentations. And if you have any questions, please let me know. Thank you.